Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Check it out, man. So last year I built this patio well 10 by 12 steel building, made a nice platform for it and everything. And the reason I did that is because that over there was our animal barn, our critter barn. I raised goats, sometimes pigs, definitely chickens, and sometimes turkeys out of that. But if you followed the channel, you'll know that last year I also cleaned all that out. We got rid of all the critters and we replaced that, and it is now where I work on small engines and mowers and go-karts, things like that down there. So I want my chickens back. I like having a source of protein here on the farm that is not reliant on the chain. So we built this, and I have this enclosed paddock. You can see the fence line along here. It goes all the way around, and it is electrified. That helps keep away bears and raccoons, possums, things like that. But what it has not helped with is death from above. So we got a problem here with hawks. We also have a problem with coyotes that clear the fence, and bobcats. They also clear the fence and they'll kill our poor chickens. So what I've done here is I bought, you can see I've kind of flattened this out. I bought a Vevor enclosure, like a chicken run, and I'm going to butt that thing right up against that when it's finished. But in this video, I'm going to kind of take this thing apart. I'll show you what it looks like outside of the box. I'm not going to do a complete assembly video with you, but I'm going to show you the stages of it, just to give you an idea if you're going to buy one of these things, what you're in for. It's a pretty good sized box. This one I think is almost 20 feet long. It's about 10 feet wide, 6.5 foot high at its tallest point. I wish it was a little higher, but that's what we got to work with. And you may not be able to tell in this with the way the video is, but this is a pretty steep slope. You can see how at the ground level on that side, and if you look at the other side there, it's almost 3 feet off the ground. So when we're done building this thing, what I intend to do is I'm going to raise that backside up and attach it to the rear fence that's already there. So my building will be kind of straight. The chicken run will be straight. And I'll add some extra chicken wire to cover the areas that aren't covered. But this will protect the chickens from predators, both coming over the fence and from above. So that's going to be a real big bonus. All right, I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to get everything out of this Vevor box. We'll lay it out here, and I'll show you what comes in the kit, and then I'll start the assembly process. Let's do it. All right, well, here it is all laid out. We've got all our pipes here going on down. Those two things down at the end there, those are our rolls of chicken wire, a bunch of end connectors and like pieces along there, and a lot of zip ties. That's to hold the chicken wire in place. So that's it. It's not terrible as far as packing goes. For future reference, it's model number JD362. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the manual here. That's kind of the finished product there. Now this one did come with like a shaded area, which chickens love that. And then you can see our instructions are pretty comprehensive as far as like they're all labeled. All the rods that I've shown you there, all that stuff has labels, so you kind of don't get it wrong when you're doing this. Right, front, left, back, right, and how to assemble it. And it's all push button. So there's no nuts and bolts to slide this thing together. There are a few nuts and bolts at the end for the door, but you can see here, this is not all that complicated, the door being the hardest part, I would say. And then we roll the mesh over, and it even talks to you about how to roll it, right, from left to right, front to back. Now, I have heard online from people that that the big issue with this is that it gives you just enough wire. So if you end up overlapping too much, you might come up short on wire. Of course, you could just go buy another roll of chicken wire if it comes to that, but I just want to point that out. All right, well, I'm going to pause the camera, and I am going to go ahead and proceed with this step, which is building our frame. Now, my front is actually going to be on this side because we're going to walk in through there to get to it, and the chickens will get into there through a chicken door. All right, let's do it. All right, well, as you can see, this isn't taking any time. Our frame has been completed, our door's at this end, and that's it. Everything just snaps together. Everything is really well labeled, so not a lot of issues there. Let's move on to step number 2 here. And it looks like we're going to be installing a bunch of 3s all the way around it. And again, these things are just like squeeze clips here. They slide right down and pop into those holes. You kind of can't screw it up, which is nice because I'm pretty good at screwing stuff up. Let's continue. That took all of about 3 seconds, so we're moving on here to the next spot here, and that is a bunch of our angle brackets and then some cross pipes here. So let's do that. Okay. So here we are. By the way, I would say we're like 15 minutes into this build. Seriously, since unboxing, it's been about 15 minutes. This snap together without having to do any bolts really helps. All right, next step, we're going to install our roof. And I'll go ahead and do that now. All right, I just want you all to look at this. This is 20 minutes worth of work to raise the frame. I have just a few pieces left as far as metal goes, and that is to put together the door frame. And yeah, I'm going to say that this whole project may be an hour and a half, 2 hours, start to finish, based on this, because the next step is just rolling the stuff out after I build this door. I mean, this is literally all there is to it. Really cool. Okay, bugs are out here eating me up, but other than that, we're on a roll. Let me get this door put together. I'll show you how that all fits into place. Okay, so the door is on. I'll come over here and show it to you. It's kind of a cool design. A little flip lever here, and then we can open that door in or out, which is kind of nice. And then to lock it into place, just put that down. Guess what? It has been 40 minutes since I started this project. 40 minutes. And that's 40 minutes since I cut the box open, okay? And I am ready for the last step, which is to install the screening. Now, I've done all this so far by myself. The screening, I feel like, however, should be done with a partner, because you're going to be rolling it up and over and then attaching a bunch of zip ties all along the way to get this done in here. So I'm going to wait until the weekend. Hopefully we've got good weather, Jen will be off, and we will put the rest of this thing back together. And as far as the tarp, I don't think I'm going to install that yet. I'm going to hang on to it, and we'll decide whether we want it at the far end or at the close end. So we'll just decide on that later on. But it's just a matter of using like the eyelets that came with the kit. And then the last thing, once we have it all in position, it does come with stakes to drive into the ground to support it, to hold it in place. But again, on this one, you can see the slope a little bit. We're going to be attaching it to that existing fence line. So we'll pick the whole thing up and move it that way and attach to that fence line and kind of straighten it out. Give me a little more headroom too when I'm in there cleaning out the coop. Cool. Well, let's pause the camera, and with the magic of the internet, we'll wait till the weekend to finish this thing up. See you then. And there it is. So it took, let's see here, 2 hours and 40 minutes to put this thing together from the time I cut the box open. And then I paused, and Jen did come down and help me a little bit with this. You could do this alone, it would just take more time, but you can see the netting is this kind of, it's coated, it's got green paint on there, green rubberized compound on there, so that should keep that from rusting out, that's for sure. And I've gone ahead and pushed it over to the fence line. This I will do off camera, but we're going to have to do some modifications. The ground's not level, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. That little door here will go inside. Now I'm 6'3". I can stand up inside of here right down the middle. So that's pretty nice. And I don't have to hunch over. Like if I move off to the side here, I get about right here before I hit my head on the stuff. But you don't really have to hunch, so that's not bad at all. Yeah, overall, I'm really happy with it. So I built 2 chicken coops or chicken runs from scratch using lumber. And I'll tell you what, if I had to do it again, and thankfully I won't because I got this, I would not build it myself. I would just get one of these kits. It's just so much easier and so much less time consuming to set this thing up than it would be to try to build one from scratch. That's a good size space here. Like I said, it's almost 20. It's like rough sizes. 10 foot by 20 foot long, 6.5 in the center. And you know, the new coop will cut a hole there, bridge it in here so the chickens have a protected area to hang out on days that I'm not down here, so they can graze on the rest of the place. Well, I guess that'll do it for my friends. I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these things. And I guess I'll see you next time. Take care.